It's gonna be Indians versus Lithuanians, guys, and we have no spec delay to wait through anymore. So let's just jump into it, shall we? Let's go. There we are. Welcome everyone then to the first game of the second series of the day. And you know what? DauT said that he wanted to face Tata, right? If DauT loses over here, he's going to go to the losers matchup. But I'm not really sure if he will be facing Tato actually. Does anybody know that's going to be the case? Actually, I can check probably. Give me a second. So, yeah, Tato got knocked down to the losers matchup from by Leary, right? He's actually going to be facing. Yeah, actually, there is no information on Wikipedia as to who's going to be the opponent of Tato. Should, you know. Oh wait. Yeah, it's gotta be that, right? No. It could be DauT. No. It's not going to be DauT. No. Because DauT will be going against whoever wins between either Vilese versus them or Nico versus the Gal, and Tato's gonna be playing against the other player. Never mind. They cannot face each other actually. They have to face in the knockout stage. Isn't it the winner from the losers? Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, so they cannot actually face each other. No, it's gotta be in the main event. So they both need to qualify. This is my favorite civilization. Should go Pi Knight. Okay. Let's talk about the civilizations real quick then. What do we get over here with Indians? We're going to get cheaper villagers, of course, 10, 15, 20, 25% cheaper depending on the age, as well as, you know, 1 or 2 extra pierce armor. Unstable units in the castle and Imperial Age. And then for the team bonus, we also have for Indians 4 bonus damage against buildings from Camel Rider units. Taking a look at the civilization from DauT, Lithuanians, he starts with 150 extra food, 10% faster moving skirmish spear units as well. As, what do we get for them too? We get 1 extra attack per each relic garrison, up to 4 relics, so up to 4 extra attack on knights and lightest units. And for the team bonus, also 20% faster working monasteries. Now, Mysterio's coming forward, and DauT's collected only 1 elephant, so if Mysterio finds this one, he could potentially try and lay. As DauT is just trying to push the ostrich towards the TC, he's not gonna be doing any scouting himself forward. So this could potentially be good for Mysterio. He's going to realize about that being here very soon. Now he knows. Yeah, he knows for sure. And he needs to stay very close to the wood lines, very close to the edge of the map to make sure that he does not go very close to the TC. So yeah, DauT already has vision on the elephant over here. He's going to send the villager right away. I think he saw the scout moving around. So he's going to try to push this one faster. Or he's going to try to lure this one towards the TC as soon as possible. He's going for the mill though. Oh, Mysterio is going to take the engagement right now. This is RNG. There's nothing that's really going to determine who gets the win over here. It's not going to be Ping. It's not going to be player 1 as it used to be in the past. But as DauT bails over there, Mysterio gets 1 extra hit. So Mysterio wins. In HD, it used to be the case that player 1 would always win. But that is not the case on DE anymore. I have seen player 1 lose many times. Well, assuming that they both engage at the same time though over there, but Mysterio ended up getting 1 extra hit, so that's pretty good for him. He got the elephant as well. Let's go and take a look at the map generation then, as we're not going to have too much action over there anymore. We have for Mysterio the main goal forward. We have the secondary goal on the right hand side up north. We have the other secondary goal on the left hand side, down south over here. And then we have the main store on the right hand side, secondary store on the left hand side for Mysterio. Once again, 4 woodlands over here. Shouldn't be too hard to wall out. And he's got the house over here, so it's quite clear it's going to be going for walls to the edge of the map. If he could potentially go for the walls from here to here eventually, he will be able to secure this woodland, but it's too far away from the TC anyway, so I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference. We're probably going to see the walls like that instead. Anyway, there we go. Let's go and take a look at the map generation from DauT on the other hand. For the red player, we get the main gold on the left hand side, and then we have the secondary golds on the left up north and down south over here, kind of exposed. This gold is not the best, but he should be able to secure this once again, just connecting the dots over here. It's gonna be probably a little bit easier for DauT to get walls to, you know, the corner of the map over here and secure this wool line like that. And in doing so, he will be able to also secure the main stone in the back, and then the secondary stone is kind of forward. So yeah, this is gonna be kind of tricky, but if he goes for this, it's going to be so good. Otherwise, he can potentially try to connect to the edge of the map over here like this. Right? Or... okay. There we go. Or not. He's just going to go for the walls. Wow! To the back of this wool line, so it seems like he's going to be connecting all the wool lines, and he's going to have a pretty small base to work with. Interesting. PLH is here for both players, and Mr. U is going for Loom only now. He went on 20 population, but as fast as if he was going up on 19 population, which is pretty good. So we're going to see some scouts coming out, and DauT that's going for the stable as well. So yeah, it's going to be scouts. Makes sense for Lithuanians, of course. You're going to be getting extra food. It's going to be a little bit smoother for you for sure. Would probably be pretty smooth for you to go for Minotaurs as well, but that's a little bit riskier from what we have seen in some of the previous stages of the tournament. Or the previous, you know, the first round of the group stage, we saw how Minotaurs are not quite as effective anymore. Even in the round 32, we saw that being the case. But yeah, anyway. Walls are coming up, and that should be completely walled up very soon. While Mr. Yo is also going for the walls himself. He's using 4 villagers to wall himself up, so he's going to be completely walled up very soon. I'm liking this better for DauT, honestly. As long as he realizes about the walls already up from Mr. Yo coming up and he cancels the extra scout, it's going to be pretty good for him because of the extra resources. However, even if he does not cancel the scout, because both players are going for 3 additional units each, then it's still going to be much better for DauT. He also took the time to push the hunting, right? He left only 1 ostrich over here, which means he pushed both zebras. Or a zebra and an ostrich, but in any case, he was able to get a lot of extra food over there, and that was pretty good. Mr. Yo, on the other hand, because he was forward all the time, he was not able to do quite as much hunting himself. He was only able to push 1 zebra, and that's about it. Gentleman's agreement to just go to Castle Age. It's kinda right, to put a thread with the scouts already out, but also just go up to Castle Age. Well, this is already completely walled up for Mr. Yo. Good job. And Mr. Yo won't be able to do anything over here around DauT space. Yeah, I think this is completely close as well, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we're just going to see a Castle Age transition over here. It should, on paper, be better for DauT. He's got more food workers right now, and overall, of course, he's had more food throughout the game because of the extra resources at the very beginning, so he should be in a pretty good spot overall. We have 1 second of idle TC time for both players as well, so yeah. This is the issue I often have with scouts myself, just full walls, even in this Arabia. Yeah, you gotta be really careful. You gotta try and keep your scouts forward and try to spot any walls coming up from your opponent, because if you go for scouts and your opponent gets the full walls up, then it's going to be wasted resources. You could potentially have gone up to the Castle Age faster. So very, very important to have vision. Yeah, good job. DauT's got the Spearman over here. Mr. Yo. Yeah, he should be able to hold on over here as well. It's just going to be a race up, and it seems like Mr. Yo will be the second one to get there. It's not a huge lead for DauT, though. He's going for Wheelbarrow. Oh, man, I love this from DauT. Yeah, getting Wheelbarrow is going to be so valuable as he goes up to the Castle Age. Mr. Yo can potentially go for it still himself, but that means that he's probably going to be going up a little bit later. If Mr. Yo starts researching it right now, DauT should be able to click up before Mr. Yo finishes researching it, so that's going to be pretty good for DauT anyway. But Mr. Yo's not going for it. Townwatch coming in for Mr. Yo instead, okay. And there we go, that should be on his way up very soon. Well, That, I think, was because Mr. Yo was housed. He was at 40 population, so he had to go for Town Watch while he got another house up. But now both players should be on their way up without going up a little bit faster. He's going to have a head start against Mr. Yo. It's not going to be huge. It's probably going to be 10 to 15 seconds, I think, at most. Mr. Yo is getting a little bit of idle time over here on the TC, but so did DauT in order to go up faster. Yeah, it's only 16 seconds faster for DauT, and he's fine. Let's take a look at gallery economy so far in this game. Looking pretty close for both players, actually. Yeah, and it's super, super even. Overall resources should be a little bit higher, though, for DauT. Still, I think, we have only 4 extra minutes of working time for Mr. Yo, which should account for like 80 resources. And with Wheelbarrow, that should be on a stronger economy overall. Wow, Mr. Yo's got more. Wow, that is surprising, to be completely honest. Jeez. Going to be a relic hunt for DauT in Castle Age. Because of the way that the relics generate on this version of Arabia, it's super fair. Like, we have 2 relics over here very close to DauT, which already is going to be very good for him in the Castle Age. It's just not going to be enough for him in the Imperial Age, of course. But he should be able to secure those. If he can take this one as well, that's going to be 3, and that's going to be fantastic. If he can get a 4th one, that's going to be perfect, of course. That's going to be ideal, but much, much harder to pull off for DauT. How do relics generate now? Well, I think it was actually pretty fair even in the previous version of Arabia. You have like 2 relics closer to one player, to each player, right? And then you have 1 dead center. I think that actually might have been the case since earlier, actually. But anyway, that's coming forward. Monastery coming in. No way! What? Is he going to go for Bike Siege and Monks? Interesting. You know, Lithuanians are technically a monk civilization as well, so they get all the upgrades. This is pretty interesting, and I was not expecting him to go for this at all. But he's going to be sticking to 1 TC and full pressure. He does not want to face the Indians later on. Yeah, despite potentially getting access to 2 relics already safely, he does not want to fight against Indians later, so he's just going to try to take this one ASAP. He's got the pikeman upgrade already. He's going for Bolso, so eco upgrades coming in very nicely. Mr. Yo, on the other hand, got to the Castle Age, and he's going for a defensive siege workshop, a tower up over here, so we're not going to see any extra TCs, and he's going for gold mining. Yeah. And no bolster just yet, no heavy plow. So economy is going to be a little bit better for DauT going forward as well. I think up until this point, he's probably managed to catch up in resources collected, right? Very, very, very close still. Second TC coming out for DauT. Good job. Man, there is a car alarm going on in the background. Thankfully, you cannot hear it, but it's been triggering me because it's been on for like 10 minutes and the guy does not go to turn it off. It's not even like a risky neighborhood or anything, so I don't even know why you would have an alarm, but anyway. I think it might have broke. I think it might have got him. Yeah. Might have broke. Good defense over here for Mr. Yo's. Get cavalry archers. The high mobility over here makes the cavalry archers a lot deadlier against mangonels. So we're gonna need some scorpions, and that's not going for scorpions just yet. Just gonna be relying on the mangonels. He's got 1 monk only, so he cannot get too many conversions going. But that's not a whole lot of cavalry archers, so it's understandable. Mr. Yo is just going to bail. He's coming forward, they're gonna try to do some damage. If Mr. Yo is paying attention, he should be able to garrison the villages over here just fine. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, good job from DauT. He's paying attention for sure. There we go, now the stable's going down. That's going to leave Mr. Yo on only archer ranges, so there is no chance of him to go for anything other than cavalry archers. This can still work. Mr. Yo with Indians is going to get fully upgraded cavalry archers to work with. So it's a great unit. It's going to scale super nicely in the later stages of the game as well. Oh, but DauT! Attack runs over here, taking 2 villagers. 4 villagers total actually from Mr. Yo already. And getting ahead by 6 villagers so far. Yeah, second TC might not have been working at all times, but yeah. Still going to be much better for him. Now the cavalry archer are sneaking in though, so Mr. Yu should be able to get the pikemen down, and he might be able to get a few villagers down from DauT. Let's see if DauT's going to realize about this. Yeah, he's going back to the TC. Meanwhile over here, we see the pikemen going up against the mangonel, defensive mangonel for Mr. Yo, and he's going to be able to take it. What I'm not really sure though is if Mr. Yo actually converted this one, or if it's a mangonel he went for himself, because DauT, I think he was on 3 mangonels. Now he's down to only 2. He might have lost one to the cavalry archers though. Good job, Mr. Yo is taking a village down over here. DauT's still ahead by about 8 villagers. The population is the same. Mr. Yo's got a lot of extra military units. Good pressure. He's getting ballistics as well, which is fantastic for the cavalry archers. That's going to maximize the value of these units, so the potential of these units for raiding. So you're going to be able to land the shots at max distance a lot more consistently, of course. Yeah, we need actual defense over here for DauT. He's got the mangonel. Let's see if Mr. Yo will be able to react over here on time. He does! Good job! Meanwhile, DauT forward. Can I keep on pushing anymore? Did he... He's bringing the mangonels back. He does not have any units over here to push with anymore. He does not have the monks. He has lost the pikemen as well, trying to get the mangonels down from Mr. Yo. And yeah, that's another villager down for DauT. You know, Mr. Yo's catching up slowly but surely. 4 to 3 KB, still better for DauT. He still has 13 extra villagers, but the pressure from Mr. Yo is increasing by the minute. I don't think DauT's gonna be able to get away over here with just playing defensive anymore. He needs a few more units, and he's finally going for some knights. And yeah, and bringing the mangonel back is certainly going to make a big difference for sure. Good job. Another villager down, and another down! Finally, the cavalry archers get cleaned up, but now Mr. Yo's got a better KD compared to DauT. He's going for the 3rd TC as well. DauT's going for the 3rd TC himself too. Really interesting stuff. Now Mr. Yo is gonna keep on putting the pressure up. He's got another wave of cavalry archers coming in, but DauT's been able to defend really well. I mean, getting the 3rd TC up over here while already ahead by 12 villagers will only allow DauT to keep on getting a hidden villager count. Now the thing is, you gotta remember too, going for extra TCs, going for extra villagers, extra farms is going to be quite expensive on your starting economy, right? So you can see Mr. Yo, by paying less resources for villagers, is actually going to end up, I think, saving a lot more wood, more food, eventually. But he needs to add the farmers. Right now, he's got only 9 farmers. And because he's got 3 TCs, that's not really going to suffice for him to go for enough villagers even. So it seems like food situation is going to be a big problem for Mr. Yo. As long as he can, as long as he keeps on going for cavalry archers, of course, he's not going to have the wood to make a heavier transition to food. While DauT, on the other hand, because he's playing defensive for the most part, is in a much better spot. It'll be a pretty good moment right now for DauT. Try and... Let's see. Try and get the walls up on the left-hand side, so he can secure this wood line, or try to expand the walls over to the right-hand side over here to try and secure this wood line himself. Let's see. Good defense for DauT. It's got the hill advantage over here as well. Good job. Yeah, man is going down, so it's going to be 1-for-1 in the end. And now there's a 4-stable coming up from Mr. Yo. All the pressure the bull player is going for against DauT has just not worked out. DauT's still on 12 extra villagers. He's got significantly more farms, so he's going to be saving a lot more food compared to Mr. Yo, despite the villager discount for the Indian player. And that's going to allow DauT to potentially go up to the Imperial Age faster. So all DauT's really got to do right now is keep on going for more villagers, prioritize defenses, or rather prioritize villages, and then a few defensive military units, the units that he can get the most value with, so mangonels or scorpions against the cavalry archers. And just try to go up to the Imperial Age as soon as possible so he gets access to Cavalier. Once we get to the Imperial Age for Mr. Yo as well, then he's going to have access to heavy camels He's going to have access to heavy cavalry archers, of course, and that's going to be much, much better for him. DauT also needs to try and collect the relics. He's sending a monk forward. This is a very reckless monk coming in against mangonels, against cavalry archers. He's got to try and get a conversion going. Let's see, I'm not really sure if he's gotten redemption. It doesn't seem like he's gotten it, so yeah, he was just trying to go for the relic, but I think he's going to try and get the conversion up over here. He'll do it, but no, he didn't get the conversion even. That was a little bit reckless though from DauT for sure, but he's fine. Unfortunately, he's not scouted the right hand side relic, so he's just gonna be banking on this one to get the second one in. There we go. That should be going for extra months, and he's going for more. He'll try to get this one. No +2 just yet hurts. Yeah, he's going for it right now. Chain bar and armor on the way. Good job. Yeah, good job over here from Mr. Yo, for sure. Takes the mantle down. Does not really take any losses over here, really. And that's gonna try to get away with the relic. No way, man. Mr. Yo's here. He knows. He's just going to go and take the monk. It's going to be the second monk DauT loses over here almost for free. He's trying to get a surround going on the cavalry archers. He's finally gotten chain bar and armor, so he might be able to clean these units up, but he's taking a lot of losses already. Sends some extra knights forward though. He's got quadruple knight production though. Wait a moment, because DauT's here, going to go for full military with 40 farmers already. He's in a much better spot to start spamming the units in, and now that's going to be so good for him, but he needs to get a good surround over here. He does not have the numbers to work with on Mr. Yo. He's got a good amount of cavalry archers over here. He's going to be able to kite the units down. However, because of all the extra units coming out from DauT, Mr. Yo cannot stay forward anymore. He needs to take the engagements underneath the PCs. So, at the very least, that's going to relieve some of the pressure around DauT's base. And yeah, we're probably going to see DauT going for another monk very soon, potentially try to get this relic once again, while Mr. Yo on the other hand is going to try to get a forward castle. Where though? Well, if he gets a castle up here, he's going to be able to deny both golds, which is amazing already, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Yo is already aware of that. Yeah. So he's going to try to go for one over here, so he's got the cavalry archers and, you know, the military control to try and pursue such castle placement. He's going for this one over here though. It's still good because he also denies the main gold, and it's going to make it still extremely risky for DauT to try and get the gold over here. But DauT's going for the counter castle, guys. It's going to be a race to the castle because the hill over here for DauT. It's going to allow him to do extra damage. I think going for darts could potentially be stronger for DauT. We'll see. But yeah, Mr. Yo on his way to the Imperial Age. DauT on the other hand is trying to get the raiding going on the left hand side. He's got a significant villager lead still, 31 extra villages, 32 extra villages, and he's trying to get some extra villas down over here. Might end up losing the knight to the conversion for sure. He's gotta lose the knight, right? Yeah. But he was able to do some good damage over there, and now the castle's up for both players. This is why I like Mr. Yo, he always drop castles. Well, that was pretty good. And going up to the Imperial Age is going to be instrumental over here. DauT, he needs to go for petards. Should be expected Mr. Yo to be going up to the Imperial Age already as well. There we go. Yep, the car alarm's still going. Strong. I'm going to let you hear it after the game is over. But yeah, it seems like the owner of the car is not there. That's going to be a very interesting rest of the stream for sure. All right. Yeah, no petards for DauT whatsoever. Mr. Yo's not been going for petards either. DauT's even going for the 40 seat. I'm not too sure about DauT's position over here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, 5 seconds for the Imperial Age. Mr. Yo's economy is absolutely incredible, by the way. He's got enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age ever again. Well, DauT, on the other hand, still kind of struggling to get enough to even go up himself. We're gonna see trebuchets coming out from Mr. Yo, of course. Yeah, and that's gonna start going for rounds. This feels like a little bit of a late reaction. With that forward castle coming up, and the castle coming out from DauT, he should have felt this was going to be a race to the Imperial Age, so I feel like he should have tried to go for petards and try to get the castle down. Now, DauT's certainly going to be able to go up to the Imperial Age himself very soon, but Mr. Yo is in a much better position. He's already finished researching Bracer. He's going for chemistry. He's going for chain bar than armor right now as well. So we're going to see camels, most likely heavy camels, or Hussar for a meat shield. And then the cavalry archers on the back. I would like for him to go for heavy cavalry archers, of course. He could go for Parthian tactics, that'd be ideal too, but yeah, one thing at a time. Oh, it stopped. Okay, never mind. I guess I won't be able to make you hear it. Anyway, here comes DauT, guys. He's got 2 measly rams against this castle. It's not going to do much of anything, unfortunately, and yeah, the castle's going to stay up for the time being. Mr. Yo should be able to take this one down himself, though, and yeah. There's another round coming over here for DauT, but I don't think he'll be able to do enough. Heavy camels coming in from Mr. Yo. He's going for forging as well as conscription. And DauT, he's finally on his way to the Imperial Age. With which to see the starting one. Castle staying out for Mr. Yo for the time being. DauT's been unable to collect the second relic, so he's only going to be +1 on the knights. And you know, Lithuanians with only 1 relic in, they're not going to scale too well in the Imperial Age. Because they do not get Blast Furnace anymore, they can only go out to +4 by collecting, you know, 2 relics at the very least. And it seems like it's just not going to be possible. Maybe DauT knows about this one already. He doesn't even know about this relic, man. That's one tile too short. So it's a pretty good position for Mr. Yo. He keeps on going for more stables forward as well. And now we're going to see a Hussar spam coming in very, very shortly. While DauT's getting completely suppressed. He might end up losing the TC. I think. No. This is the MTC. But I wouldn't be surprised if he lost it anyway. Let's see. Yeah, Mr. Yo took this down. He needs to back trebuchet back up. Go and fight against this TC next. But it seems like DauT's going to get awake. Yeah, would get into the Imperial Age. Another castle on the way for Mr. Yo. Really good position though for the blue player so far. DauT 20 seconds away from the Imperial Age. We have the hill advantage over here for Mr. Yo. But yeah, the Imperial Age is getting here for DauT for sure. So he's trying to go for the castle as opposed to the TC. Will Vilesa play today? Yes, we'll have Vilesa versus Lamb coming up after the series, and then we'll have Nika versus the Gao after that one. Good job so far though from Mr. Yo. And that's just gonna be sticking to full trashiness over here. Interestingly enough, population is actually higher for Mr. DauT over here, you know? Might be getting pushed very hard over here, but he got to the Imperial Age. We're gonna see a Halberdier coming in. These move 10% faster for Lithuanians, remember that as well. Oh, Guild's on the way for Mr. Yo. Wow. You don't see that very often. There we are, skirmishes and very soon Halberdier. Good job from Mr. DauT. Yeah, he was able to get the second castle down. He was able to take the trebuchet down from DauT as well. So now this is going to be full trash over here for DauT to defend himself, but he's gonna need something else to try and take the castles down. Without taking the castles down, he's not gonna be able to regain control of gold anymore. Secondary gold over here on the control of Mr. Yo, and the main goal still on the control from Mr. Yo. As DauT runs out of gold over here on the left. He does not have access to any golds anymore unless he is able to secure a neutral one maybe, and he's going to try and secure this one on the left hand side. He's on a timer though. If he cannot take the castles down over here, then Mr. Yo is just going to end up starving him for gold. Siege workshops coming in, so that can go for more ramps. And we'll see some stables coming up forward for him as well. He's got iron casting. He's got chemistry coming up as well. So that's pretty interesting. And that's about it. Good job. Yeah, he should be able to take the villagers down, and he will. Well played. Yeah. It's for the time being that's able to defend, but I don't think that's going to be the case for much longer. This area is getting a third castle up on the right hand side. And that's finally starting going down severely in villager count as well. He calls it GG. As he was coming forward, he was going to try to get the raid going over here, but very unlikely he was going to be able to do enough damage to catch up to Mr. Yo in terms of population. So, well played, guys. Mr. Yo takes the first game over here. Remember, whoever wins over here is going to qualify to the knockoff stage directly, while whoever loses over here is going to be facing one of the winners in the losers matchup. So actually the decider matchup is going to be between the loser of the winner matchup versus the winner of the losers matchup. So let's go and take a look at the achievements real quick. For Mr. Yo, we are going to have a very nice KD ratio over here, better than 3-2. We have for economy, on the other hand, slightly stronger economy for DauT, and he did a really good job in terms of macro this match, but he really struggled to do any damage with military units. Go up to the Imperial Age was so much later for him, and Mr. Yo was able to bring this one back. As soon as he got to the Imperial Age, he was able to keep the pressure going, and DauT struggled. So well played. For the civilizations then, after seeing... let's go back. There we go. We saw Lithuanians over here and Indians. That's going to be 1-0 in favor of Mr. Yo. For game number 2 then, we should have still Aztecs available to Mr. Yo, Huns, Celts, Byzantines, and Magyars. I'm liking many of these civilizations. I don't think it's going to be using Magyars, but I think Huns are going to be a very viable option for game number 2. While DauT, on the other hand, he's got Franks, right? It's got Khmer, Burgundians, Britons, and Ethiopians. I think going for... yeah, Khmer could be strong, going for Khmer or going for Franks, and I would probably prefer for him to say Britons, Ethiopians, Burgundians for later, for when he's got a better idea of what he's going to be facing next, when it's not going to be just guesswork, which is my opinion anyway. We'll see if we have already a second lobby up or not. I imagine we might. We'll search for Mr. DauT. Pity seeing DauT lose from a winning position. He was looking pretty strong, yeah. And Mr. Yo was able to bring this one back. Just goes to show why Mr. Yo is considered such a threat, doesn't it? Alright, there we go. I'm already in the match, but we are waiting for the spec delay, so I guess I'm not technically in it, but I'm waiting for it. I found it. And yeah, we are going to have exactly as expected. We have Huns versus Khmer over here. Yeah. Fantastic civilization for game number 2. Huns versus Khmer. Mr. Yo and DauT respectively, of course. We are still 1 minute and 20 seconds away from it. I think from all the civilizations we would have left for game 3 onwards, I'm probably liking DauT's better. I think Ethiopians and Britons are amazing, and then we have Burgundians, we have Franks over here for DauT as well, which is pretty good. Mr. Yo, on the other hand, would have Celts, Aztecs, Byzantines, and Magyars. Magyars, I don't think he's going to use. But then for the rest of the civilizations, I feel like Byzantines are awesome. I feel like Aztecs are pretty good. Celts can be more situational. I think he's gonna have to use Celts when he knows what DauT's going for. Like if DauT went for Franks, for instance, Celts could potentially struggle. You know, technically Franks are a cowardly civilization, but the throwing axemen should destroy everything that Celts get to work with. But of course, it's all going to depend on how the game gets played out. Besides Franks, we also have Burgundians for, you know, for DauT. I think against Burgundians, it could potentially be good to go for Celts because they are more likely to play standard, try and boom, you know, play for economy instead, and then Celts are going to be a fantastic civilization for fighting that off. Against Britons and Ethiopians, that's going to be tricky. Against Ethiopians, it could be pretty good for Celts. Against Britons, it's going to be a little bit trickier because of the extra range. However, in that matchup with Celts versus Britons, it's going to be all about unit control because it's a very, very nice civilization to have Britons against Celts because you can take the mountains down at a distance. But if you're not paying attention to your units at all times, one big mountain shot can potentially change the game. So there we are, guys. Welcome everyone then to game number 2. We have Mr. Yo playing in blue, the southeast. Meanwhile, Khmer, we're gonna have DauT playing Khmer up himself, right? Up north over here, significantly closer to the corner of the map, so this could be a little bit better for DauT. We're gonna take a look at the map generation in a second. For Mr. Yo, first off, with Hans, he's not gonna need to build houses, but he starts with 100 less wood. On top of that, we also get for Hans 10 and 20% cheaper cavalry archers in the Castle and Imperial Age, as well as, you know, 50% accuracy on trebuchets as opposed to 15%. And for the team bonus, they get also 20% faster working stables. For map generation, DauT's got, or Mr. Yo, sorry, over here in the blue color, he's going to have the main goal on the left-hand side. He's got the secondary goal on the left-hand side and another secondary goal up north. While we have the secondary or the main stone forward, he's got the secondary goal kind of forward exposed on the left-hand side as well. It's a really awkward map generation for Mr. Yo if he goes for walls. By the way, I'm just realizing that you cannot see the annotation. Sorry about that. There we go. But yeah, if he gets the walls up over here, and then probably around the goal like this and from here towards the TC, he's going to be protecting some resources, but the majority of them are going to be too exposed. Gotta keep in mind as well, we have plenty of hills around the base of Mr. Yo, around the TC, so yeah, it's going to be kind of tricky for him to really protect these resources when there's not really a whole lot of space for him to go for extra TCs later. Probably one over here, and probably one over here, I guess, would be an option. But yeah, let's go and take a look at DauT's map generation. For the red player, on the other hand, he's got the main goal in the back, and that's already huge. That's going to be a fantastic... Let's see. Oh god. That's going to be a fantastic... There you go. Goal generation for DauT. Meanwhile, we have the main stone forward, secondary stone on the right-hand side. We also get... Where are the secondary goals for him? He's got the secondary goal forward over here. Both of these forward, actually. And you cannot see this one. You can barely see it, but it's over here. If we see the walls coming out for DauT from here to here, right? And here to here, he can go towards the TC. And it is not going to be too expensive for him to go for. And he will be able to secure the wool line over there. He will be able to secure the wool line over here as well. He will be able to secure the gold on the back. Berries over here. It'll be a fantastic wall out for him, for sure. He doesn't even need to connect to the 4 wood line over here. He can also just go for walls like this. You know, from here towards the TC. Or alternatively, if he wants to be super safe much earlier, he can go for the walls from here towards the edge of the map and from here towards the TC. And he can still secure the goal. And that's a little bit easier to go for. And then he can potentially expand outwards later on, right? Like, go for walls maybe from here to here and secure this wood line eventually. Anyway, we don't really have a whole lot of action. Mr. Yo and DauT took a little bit of a trade over here. Mr. Yo ended up getting the better end of the stick. And yeah, we are going to have 3 ostriches over here that he pushed. Yeah, he pushed all the hunting. So 2 ostriches, a zebra. Meanwhile, DauT on the other hand did not push the hunting quite as much. So this is going to be relying on elephants alone. And that's going to mean a much stronger economy for Mr. Yo. Let me update this, by the way. We're just going to remove the GL. And let's say Mr. Yo over here. At the very least, though, DauT's got a very good idea of what Mr. Yo's base is looking like. So he knows about all 3 forward golds, and he knows about the forest stone over here. So he's got to try and take advantage of this. He's got to try and capitalize on it. It's going out to the fuel H. Both players going up on 19 population each. By the looks of it, it's going to be scouts for both. Of course, DauT won't need to go for a barracks, but you see, this is why I was kind of surprised yesterday when we saw Hera series, because he was up on 18 population, and most people, even going for Khmer, have been going up on 19 population. So it seems to me like if it was... Okay, I guess that's the trade, right? Not going for Horse Scholar, but going up a little bit sooner, versus potentially going for Horse Scholar, but going up a little bit later. Yeah, that's not being as aggressive as he could be. But it's going to be only a difference of 25 seconds. I guess 25 seconds could potentially change the game, though. Mr. Yo could easily finish the walls in 25 seconds. If he was going for them already. But yeah, that's not going to want to give up his precious macro, of course, in order to go up faster. So we should see Horse Scholar and DauT coming in for both DauT and Mr. Yo right now. There we go, both players are up, and... yeah, DauT coming in for DauT. And Horse Scholar coming in for him as well. Mr. Yo, on the other hand, well... not in the best spot. He's not going for Horse Scholar just yet, just DauT. Because he had to go for the barracks, and now he's going for the stable. Does he have any farms? No farm just yet. He's got still 3 sheep. Good job. That's going for the walls. These are the walls that we were expecting to see him go for initially, and then he can potentially expand outwards later. On Mr. Yo, he's got some scouts coming out already. Good job, he's got 2 extra scouts. Meanwhile, DauT's coming in with 1 extra scout over here only. It's pretty interesting. Mr. Yo was up a little bit sooner, but not by a huge margin, and he was still able to get the extra scouts out significantly faster compared to DauT. Which is remarkable. It's a 20% faster working stable for Hans. Really good job. He's taking advantage of it. What's coming out for DauT on the left hand side? Yeah, and he's just going for the walls as expected. And Mr. Yo is going for the walls as expected over here as well. That's coming in though. Mr. Yo's not getting the walls up on time. He might end up losing the first village over here. Let's see, that's gonna be first blood. Well, that's going for it. He's got 3 scouts over here. He should be able to get this villager down, no problem. If Mr. Yo's showing up over here with scouts, he still ends up taking the villager down over there. And that's very good unit control. That's 1 scout down. And that's gonna try to get the engagement over here. But Mr. Yo's able to take 2 scouts down over here. That is still worth it though. It's 2 scouts for 1 scout and a villager. He's gotta take it. And Mr. Yo is finally going to be completely walled up himself over here. We see extra scouts coming in from DauT. But Mr. Yo should be able to distract these units with his own scout over here enough so that he can get the walls up over here. So it's unlikely Mr. Yo will be facing DauT scout inside his walls anymore. Well, yeah, DauT on the other hand is gonna be completely walled up himself as well. He's technically kind of open over here, but because he's got the TC, he should be able to secure this opening as well. Alright. He's still not collected the ostriches over here, and they're basically free food at this point. They're on the back of his base as well, but he's not going for it. Good job. Mr. Yo's coming forward. We'll see if he can do any damage though. There we go. Yeah, and DauT's still trying to roam around, trying to break through. It's unlikely we're going to see any damage being done by anyone, so it's just going to be a race to the castle age. This time around, it's going to be so much faster for DauT. The previous game, he should be the first one to go up to the castle age, and he struggled. Now he's going to be the first one for sure. He's got 16 farmers. Khmer farmers are going to be amazing as well, or Mr. Yo on the other hand. Not quite as much. I'm not really sure Mr. Yo got Horse Scala before starting to go for the farms, but yeah, we know how that can have a big impact, of course, as well. So yeah. Well played. Good defense over here from Mr. Yo. We have 4 scouts left for DauT. And he's gonna be on his way to the castle age. He's got almost enough resources. He's saddling the TC to go up ASAP. Mr. Yo, on the other hand, has got 19 farmers. He should be able to go up himself very soon. But wait a moment! Mr. Yo's coming in! Yeah! Because DauT was completely open and garrisoning over here is not going to supply. So now Mr. Yo can try and take a villager down. Let's see, it so far as 1-to-1 equal KD. So Mr. Yo gets back on DauT. Yeah, and that's gonna be another villager going down. I wouldn't be surprised to see even a third villager going down over here. As Mr. Yo's got so many scouts over here. And DauT, however, already has resources to go up, but because he's paying attention to the villagers, he took a little bit longer to click up than he needed to. So now Mr. Yo won't really be up to the castle age that much later compared to DauT. His economy is looking super strong as well. DauT now getting a lot of idle TC time over there, and well, Mr. Yo is significantly lower than that. Yeah, he was also able to get a few villagers down over here, so the villager lead for Mr. Yo is going to be significantly stronger than it probably would be if you are only banking on idle TC times. Mr. Yo is already 8 villagers ahead compared to DauT. What is it about GL players and not walling, man? This was the demise of DauT in game number 5, of Tad on game number 5 versus Leary, and now, well, DauT is struggling with it himself too. And damn. There we go, second archer range on the way for Mr. Yo. He's going up to the castle age himself. After taking that much damage, DauT's going to have two choices. Go for extra TCs and go full boom and play full defensive. Or go full forward and stick to 1 TC and just try to take this game. Because Mr. Yo is already ahead in villager count, and DauT knows it. DauT knows it. He was able to get only 1 villager. He lost like 6. He lost exactly 6 as a matter of fact. So yeah. Third archer range up over here. Mr. Yo is going to be going for 1 TC full cavalry archer push. Alright. And there we go, the tower is coming up over here. No extra TCs for Mr. Yo, but this is going to be enough defenses, I think. We'll see. Should be. Anyway. Yeah, the tower's coming up. Good job. Let's go in for chain. He's going for Botkin arrow. He's going for the crossman upgrade as well. He's got extra crossbows coming in. Might still be able to push these villages away from wood though, for sure. He's going to try to break through over here. Let's see if Mr. Yo can't do anything to prevent DauT from breaking through. He's going to have a good amount of cavalry archers though to play with in a moment, but he needs to wait. He only now got to the castle age, so for the time being he was only on archers and skirmishers. This is a very good push from DauT. I think this is exactly what he needs to go for. Full pressure, he's got double archer ranges. Probably would like to see even a third archer range come up and probably a 4 siege workshop. But yeah, this is already a very good start. Oh, and it's open! So DauT's coming in right now. Mr. Yo did not realize about this. Come on, man. Come on. How is this open? Mr. Yo, if I'm in Mr. Yo's position and I select the tree over there, how? Oh, God, that is so unlucky. He loses 1 villager already. DauT can't keep on roaming around, of course. If he can get ballistics out, that's going to be huge as well for DauT. Let's see if he's got a university on the way. Yeah. He's going for it. If he can get ballistics, then that's going to be so much better for him. He has to keep on sending the units in as well. Try to keep on reinforcing his army. Because, of course, by the minute Mr. Yo is going to have skirmishers. He's going to have more crossbows as well. Yeah, and talk about resiliency. Mr. Yo does not care about this push from DauT. He just pushes him back. And there's nothing for DauT to fight against the skirmishers for the time being, so that's why I would have liked to see a 4 siege workshop, but of course there's only so much you can do given a limited amount of resources. It's really open, it almost looks like a bug. It's gotta be open. I think it's open. We're gonna take a look at the grid view in a moment. But Mysterio should be able to push DauT away. Okay, okay. Is it going to stabilize over here? We have ballistics already for DauT, so let's take a look at the engagement before going and checking in. I think Mysterio at this point already probably closed himself up anyway. Yeah, he's got the wall over there. Alright, let's enable this. Yeah. It's a slope. It's the slope, actually. It kind of visually eats one tile. But this guy on the wall already up. Good job. Extra TC already up for DauT. Yeah, we're going up anyway. And yeah, he cannot break through anymore, so he's just gonna be going for economy. That's pretty interesting. I think he's taken the information he's gotten from all 3 archer ranges forward over here, right? From Mysterio, and he decided to go for economy right now, given that Mysterio is gonna be sticking to 1 TC full cavalry archer production. So it's not bad. He'll be able to catch up eventually. You can see that he's only 3 villages behind right now, which isn't really much more. Which isn't really, yeah, much more for Mysterio anymore. We do see wheelbarrow on the way though for Mysterio, which is, you know, fine. DauT's not gonna be falling behind too much because of the Khmer farmers. Farmers are usually, you know, the workers that benefit from wheelbarrow the most anyway, so it's fine. You can go for wheelbarrow a little bit later and that's going to be okay. Now he's got the 30 C up and yeah, it's going to make a switch to full defensive play. Interestingly enough, he actually has a score lead. So he knows about the triple archer range over here, but because he's got the score lead, he probably knows that Mysterio is not on quite as many cavalry archers as he should be at this point already. We are 26 minutes into the game. He should be probably on closer to like 15, 18 cavalry archers. Yeah, that's going back and he's gonna be just fine. He's trying to get some damage down over here. With ballistics, he's gonna be able to take a few villages down and yeah, he was able to catch up for Eco KD for the most part. Yeah, good job. Might not be getting too many villages down over here. Might end up getting cleaned up, but it's still pretty good. He was able to chunk a lot of HP off these. Made this very inefficient, by the way. Take a look at the villages. 49% efficiency in the last minute. And all time, not particularly efficient either. Now that should be able to start getting ahead. Yeah, he's sort of... What? How were we 4 villages behind from DauT like a minute ago, and now he's all of a sudden 12 extra villages? Jesus, man. What? Good job from DauT. Yeah, his economy is going to be fantastic. He's finally taking the hostages over here on the back as well, so that's pretty good. Well played. Let's see. There we go. Some scorpions over here, and that should be able to hold on against ranged units for the most part just fine. What an interesting turn of events. It seems like DauT's coming back over here, very similar to how Yo was able to come back in the previous one. Yeah, the scorpions are going to suffice for sure. There's very little Mr. Yo can do with only cavalry archers and skirmishers over here, so he's going for the second TC himself. Trying to go for extra TCs so late into the game, 30 minutes into the game, and he already knows about DauT's extra TCs, will only allow him to play catch up. So I would certainly have preferred for Mr. Yo to instead try to ramp up his military pressure, right? Go for a forward siege workshop around here, just keep on going for cavalry archers and just try to take this one like that, because going for extra TC is just going to put DauT in a much better spot. Mysterio is going to be using the rest of his economy to try and get extra TCs up and more villages up, you know, farmers and whatnot. While DauT on the other hand is going to be getting a hidden villager count much sooner than Mr. Yo. He's going to be getting to enough villagers to order to think about going up to the Imperial Age and whatnot. So pretty good position for the red player so far. 4th TC on the way as well. So super greedy for DauT. And yeah, we have a little bit of a push over here from Mr. Yo, but DauT should realize about it and he's going to be fine. Once again, I would definitely like for him to try and extend the walls over to a different wall line so that he can secure some of the wall lines on the back, but he's not going for it just yet. Third to see on the way from Mr. Yo. Alright. Yeah, we have ballistics for both players as well, which means that DauT, if he plays defensive with skirmishers, he should be able to hold on just fine. He just needs the elite skirmisher upgrade. He's going for Town Watch right now. He was going to get housed. Yeah, he needs the elite skirmisher upgrade, and then he's gonna be fine, I think. With mangonels over here, skirmishers, a few scorpions here and there as well, he should be able to hold on just fine. And good job, man. Even without the elite upgrade, he's cleaning up all of Mr. Yo's units over here. Remember, he's got ballistics, so yeah, he gets the mangonel down. Sacrifices one villager over there, make that 2 maybe, but no, just 1 villager, but he's fine. Can push the cavalry archers away. That's going to be a very nice magnet shot from DauT as well against Mr. Yo, and it's looking good, guys, for the red player. Not gonna lie, a lot of extra villagers already. 26 extra villagers. Military count, barely 5 extra military units for Mr. Yo. As DauT already has 2 magnets and a scorpion, he's gonna have enough siege to play defensive, and this is probably just going to be a play for the Imperial Age for DauT. We'll be getting to 100 villages in no time for the red player. Seconds for elite skirmishers. He's going for wheelbarrow finally as well. Just going to be so good for his economy. Good job. Yeah, that's pretty good for Mr. Yo, but it's still fine for that. It's got lead skirmishers over here. Yeah, it's got a good amount as well. Market on the way for DauT to try and balance his economy. He's got plenty of wood, not quite as much food or gold. He's open still, but this is kind of like a trap. So Mr. Yo is going back. So far, DauT's been able to hold on to his villager lead. He's got 21 extra villages compared to Mr. Yo, but his economy is significantly less efficient. Take a look at the worker efficiency in the last minute. He's not been able to defend himself quite as well as I was expecting him to. And the unit control from Mr. Yo has been fantastic. Doesn't really even have that many units to play with. But DauT doesn't really have a whole lot of defensive units to play with himself, so yeah, it's been pretty good for Mr. Yo overall. He's got pressure going on. He's got the forward siege workshop up on the left hand side. Should be able to push against DauT's TC on the left over here. What is Mr. Yo going for? He's going for rams. I think he probably knows about the TC, right? Yeah, he knows. Interesting. That's just trying to get back on his feet over here. Let's take a look at the overall collection of resources. Looking better for Mr. Yo. Actually, that should never be the case, man. DauT is on with like 19 extra villages. He's been on a lot of extra villages for so long, but Mr. Yo's pressure over here allowed him to get ahead in eco, which is remarkable. Is Mr. Yo going to get the series over here? Well, he's been playing really well. Game number 1, he played fantastic. He was able to come back from a loser's position. Now in game number 2, DauT was able to do a really good job with economy, but Mr. Yo once again coming back and putting so much pressure up over here. We're even going to see a forward castle coming in from Mr. Yo again, as we saw in game number 1. To keep on putting pressure against DauT. And the fact that he was able to get ahead in resources collected so far just speaks volumes about Mr. Yo's efficiency with the raid over here. Fantastic stuff. Forecast is coming in this time around. Well, DauT does not have the resources to go for a counter castle himself. Magnus gets... Oh man, the Magnus gets sniped by the ram over there as well. So Mr. Yo should be getting this castle up for sure. There's only skirmishes for DauT to defend himself with some villagers over here, and he's trying to go for the tower. But yeah, this castle, it's gotta come up. It's gotta come up. Mr. Yo's gotta try and force build this one because he's got way too many villagers over here for it to fail. But he's gotta force it. He's gotta force it. He's not forcing it. No way. No way this castle gets denied. 94% and DauT's able to deny this one. What a player. Mr. Yo's trying to get this one up still, and he's gonna be able to get it. Yeah. Lost a lot of villagers, but he was able to get the castle up, and still Mr. Yo, you know, only 15 villagers behind is not that bad. Like those villagers he lost over there didn't cost him falling behind the villager count even further at all. DauT was also taking a lot of damage over there himself too, and yeah, pretty good position. This castle also divides Mr. Yo base, or actually DauT's base, sorry, in two. So if he pushes on the left hand side, there is nothing that DauT's gonna be able to reinforce this base with, because everything's going to be up north. That's 24 villagers DauT could very well end up losing in the next few minutes, while Mr. Yo gets a push going on the right hand side as well. Yeah, DauT struggles to hold on even there, so let's see. A little sloppy though from Mr. Yo to send the rounds completely unprotected. There's another cast coming up over here from Mr. Yo. I wouldn't be surprised if this would be the GG though from DauT. His economy's been an absolute mess ever since Mr. Yo started pushing a few minutes ago, and you'll see an elephant coming out over here. I'm pretty sure that was a misclick. It's not going to do much of anything, and yeah, DauT cannot even deny this castle anymore. He's bringing the villagers over here to try and target one villager at a time, but he's not going to be able to deny the castle, so he calls it GG. Mr. Yo has played an absolutely incredible series so far. 2-0 in favor of the blue player. We're going to be jumping into game number 3 in one moment, but man, this is certainly looking a lot more one-sided than I thought it was going to be. Let's go and take a look at the achievements then real quick, starting with military. We will get a very nice KD for Mr. Yo of better than 3-2. Meanwhile, we have, let's see, for economy, a much stronger economy for Mr. Yo, in the end collecting extra resources, despite DauT being in a much higher amount of villages for the majority of the late game. It's just that the worker efficiency was not the best because of Mr. Yo's consistent pushes. That was the key over here. Mr. Yo started to go for more military about 28 minutes into the game. Was able to get the ball rolling, and DauT wasn't able to stop it. So for technology, on the other hand, we see a faster castle each time for DauT, faster fuel each time for Mr. Yo. And that's going to be about it for this one. So let's go back and let's take a look at what civilizations we have left. We have Aztecs, Celts, Byzantines, and Magyars for Mr. Yo. For DauT, we have Franks, we have Burgundians, Britons, and Ethiopians. I think I'm liking Aztecs, Aztecs, Byzantines, and Celts better. And DauT, for his civilizations, I think I'm liking, yeah, actually Britons, Burgundians, and I'm not really sure in between Ethiopians and Franks which one I'm liking better. I guess it's going to depend on the potential matchups. I think against what Mr. Yo's got, probably Franks are going to be the riskier choice for DauT because of Aztecs, because of Byzantines, potentially because of Celts. Although, you know, once again, Franks against Celts could potentially still do well if he gets to throw in Axemen in any case, but yeah. So you're dropping multiple castles is what I don't see from many competitors. Not quite as often as I would like to see, that I do agree with, yeah. But for game number 3, and it's going to be here in a moment, we'll see what we get. Let me, just a 0, just come back from dinner, seems really slow. Well, I mean, the first series was pretty long, right? By the way, I haven't started predictions for games number 1 or 2 between Mysterio and DauT for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why, but we're probably going to start the prediction for game number... Yeah, game number 3. Let me see if I can find it. Game number 3 is not here just yet by the looks of it. Not really sure if DauT's taking a small break, maybe. Or at the very least, like, the game is not on, but they do have the lobby. Start predictions for game number 3. We have DauT. And we have Yo. We are going to leave this open for 5 minutes. And there we are. Okay. Doesn't seem like the game is on just yet. We are still waiting. They are still in the lobby by the looks of it. Yeah. They are still in the lobby, but now Crazini has left, so the game is going to start very shortly, which means we're going to be there in probably like 2 minutes, 2 minutes and a half. It's fine. It's good. What do you guys think about the remaining civilizations? Well, for DauT, I mean, we have Franks over here, Burgundians, Britons, Ethiopians. I think for game number 3, I would like for DauT to go for Britons probably. I think that would still leave him with Burgundians for later, which can be super strong. And then he would like have decent chances even against Aztecs. Against Celts, from both archery civilizations he's got, Britons are going to be the best one because of the extra range. I'm not too sure how much I believe in DauT's unit control though, but we'll see about that later. And then on top of that, yeah, against potentially Byzantines or Magyars, I think it's going to be fine. Really want to see a proper Celts game? Okay. Like Mr. Yosmore. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what the matchup is going to be. But I think I would like for DauT to go for Britons for sure. Yeah. I mean, Burgundians is going to be a very strong choice for him as well. But I feel like Britons is going to leave Burgundians open for game 4 or 5. So he needs to think of game 4 for a strong civilization, but something that's also going to leave him something open available for the later stages of the series. Because if he just goes for Burgundians right away, right? And he faces like whatever civilization from Mr. Yo, he's going to have only Britons, Ethiopians, and Franks available. So let me see. I think the game should be here already. It's here, yes. And for civilizations, we actually have Aztecs versus Franks, guys, for game number 3. I'm checking the stats over here, and it seems like Mr. Yo's got a 67% win rate with Aztecs, while DauT's got a 46% win rate with Franks. This can be really good for Mr. Yo. It's one of the riskier matchups that I was thinking about for DauT, and I would have liked for him to go for Franks. Probably better against Celts, as weird as it seems. It's actually, you know, a possibility. Or against Magyars, or well, even against Byzantines. But Aztecs are going to be trickier because of the monks. Anyway, we'll see. Game number 2 is coming up, guys. Game number 3, sorry. So predictions are still open. Let's go for it. And hey, Iron Chef, how are you doing? Hi and welcome. And welcome everyone to game number 3 in the series. Mr. Yo up north playing Aztecs, DauT. Down south playing with Franks. We are going to have for Aztecs, Mr. Yo. He's got, first off, villages who can carry extra villagers per extra resources per trip. So 3 extra resources per trip for free. It gets 11% faster training military units except for monks, but monks are going to get 5 extra HP per each monastery technology that they research, and they also begin with 50 extra gold. Taking a look at team bonus for Aztecs, they get also 33% faster gold income from relics. Meanwhile, DauT on the other hand, he's got Franks. That means he's going to have 20% extra HP on stable units starting in the field age. We're going to have for Franks also 25% cheaper castles, as well as 15% faster working foragers, freeform upgrades. And then we also have for the team bonus for Frank's 2 extra line of sight on Nightline units. So yeah. Ticket bonus and DauT. Alright. Well, let's go and take a look at the map generation because it doesn't seem like anybody's going to try to go for any laming. Oh, that might not be necessarily the case though. Mysterio is going to run into the board right away. There you go. He knows about it. He's got the hill advantage over here, but he's going to go for it. Yes, Mysterio is going for the Rhino already. Let's keep track of the line of sight of the Rhino over here and there you go. And let's see if DauT's going to realize. Unfortunately, DauT is nowhere near this area. So he won't really be able to put a stop to this. And Mysterio is getting away with it. This is pretty good. I think DauT realized about it already. He must have realized about it already because he's already pushing. I think he's just going to push. I'm not really sure though if he realized about it. If he saw the Rhino run away over here, then he must have seen it. But then he also keeps on scouting with sheep. And this tells me that he might not have realized where the Rhino was in the first place. I'm not really sure because he keeps on scouting over here. There's... Well, but he's also pushing. I think he's gonna be fine though. I think he's gonna be fine. Mr. Yo, of course, is going to be more than fine himself. He already got the Rhino over here, and now we're gonna have another one down south, another one up north. Should be able to collect these fairly easily next up. That's Rhino, not a board, you're not a biologist. Yeah, I'm not a biologist. Cut me some slack. Book it. You got it. Let's go and take a look at the map generation for Mysterio. What do we get over here? We have first off the main goal on the back, on the left-hand side. The main stone is up north, but it's going to be kind of on the back as well. Meanwhile, the secondary stone gold on the right-hand side. Sorry, the other secondary gold on the left-hand side. And the secondary stone is going to be towards the southwest. He does have 4 wood lines around his base, but these are going to be distributed in such a way that it's super hard for him to wall the left-hand side. So he's going to have to go for something like from here to here, and then maybe something like this maybe, but that's not really going to protect any resources really. If he went for a little bit greedier walls from here to here maybe, and then here towards the DC, he would be able to protect this wool line, which is fantastic of course. The stone as well, but no golds. The golds are going to be the issue for him for sure. If we go and take a look at the map generation for DauT on the other hand, what do we get for the red player? He's got the main goal up, down south rather, and then he's got both secondary goals on the left-hand side, as well as the main stone on the left, and then we have the secondary stone on the right-hand side up north. It's significantly better for him in terms of resources, because going for some walls from here to here, here to here, and potentially here to here will allow him to secure a wool line already, right? He'll be able to secure this gold as well, and the stone. The berries are going to be kind of exposed though, unless he goes for the walls maybe a little bit more to the right hand side, kind of like this, and then he tries to connect from here to here, right? So yeah, I'm liking DauT's map generation over here, significantly better compared to Mysterio. We'll see what we get. Problem though, big problem for him was getting lane, but at the very least he was able to push all the hunting, so he's going to be fine. It's just a few extra resources for free for Mysterio, but that's about it. We need more potato walls? We'll see. Good job. Chunked a bunch of HP off that Eagle Scout. And yeah. DauT's got no militias coming out whatsoever. The barracks over here is simply to facilitate the stable. So he's going for the stable right now. He went up on 19 population and it's going to be full scouts. Meanwhile, Mysterio on the other hand. Wow, take a look at that. He's going for even greedier walls than I was expecting him to go for. Jeez Louise, if he can also secure this on the right hand side as well, should be able to secure this gold in addition to the stone over there. That's pretty good, because if he had gone for safer walls, he wouldn't have been able to secure any goals. Interestingly enough, though, he's going for the goal on the left-hand side, which is the more exposed one. But I guess it's the safest one in the sense that it's closer to the TC. It's going to be easier to protect the villages by garrisoning them, but we'll see. That's going to be sending scouts forward very soon, but we have Mr. Yo's militias already forward. Very unlikely Mr. Yo will be able to get a village down over here. He's going to try. Oh, now he's got the Minotaurs. No, never mind. That's a villager going down. First blood. But the villager going down over there. Good job. Interestingly enough, we have a KD of 1-1. Yeah, and an Eco KD of 1-0. So that means we saw the scout go down, right? Yeah, from Mr. Yo. That's it. Does he know about those holes? I'm really sure he knows, but he's sending a villager right now. Yeah, he didn't know, but he's doing a really good job sending the villager to find out. Send the villager to check. There we are. Yep, and Mr. Yo should be completely safe. The gold over here, the walls coming up on the left hand side. It's going to take some time for him to get this up though. Meanwhile, DauT's already going to start sending the scouts forward. There's a lot of scouts coming in. From DauT, he's got 5 already, so he had plenty of time to get a good amount of scouts up. And Mr. Yo is still struggling to get the walls up, so DauT might be able to find some good damage over here. So just gotta be careful. We do have Spearman already. Franks or Aztecs? I'm personally liking Aztecs better. Good job. Good defense for Mr. Yo as well. Yeah, well played. Amazing stuff. What I really like about Aztecs is obviously access to Eagles is going to be incredible for any American civilization. You can get the spam going, you know, it can be super strong. Nice. Yeah, it's breaking through over here. But he won't be able to do it on time. It's a very good wall out for Mr. Yo. Besides Eagles though, we have incredible monks. Absolutely amazing monks for Aztecs. Each monastery technology you research gives you extra HP, which makes them so much more resilient against enemy units. So yeah, I'm liking Aztecs for sure. Could potentially go for a smush kind of thing in the castle age as well. We'll see. Now that he's completely walled up, and he's got still extra villagers because of all the damage plus the extra idle TC time that DauT has taken. We're going to see Mr. Yo going out to the castle age faster as well, and it's going to be very interesting. What I'm kind of wondering though is, if Mr. Yo goes up to the castle age faster, is he going to try to go for extra TCs, or is he going to try to go for full aggression? Personally, I feel like it's going to be better for him to go for full aggression, because I feel like the longer the game goes and the more knights DauT's able to mass, then the harder it's going to be for him to counter those with monks specifically, because the more unit control it's going to require. But there's no guarantee you're going to be able to make that work early on. Instead, if you go for extra TCs and you're the first one to the castle age, plus you're the only player who was able to get a villager so far in the game, you know that you're guaranteed to get a hidden economy. So I wouldn't be surprised if you went for extra TCs as well. Actually, yeah, I personally would prefer aggression, but I think the safer play is to go for extra TCs. So I think Mr. Yo is probably going to be thinking of that. DauT though might be the first one to click out to the castle age actually. It's gonna be boom. I think that's the way to go. I think that's the safest choice for him. Good job. Yeah, the wall's coming up. That's perfect. DauT's got fletching right now, but he's got skirmishers only, so these are not going to suffice to prevent the walls from coming up. There we go. Castle Age is on the way for DauT. And Mr. Yo won't be able to go up quite as fast himself, though. This is very good pressure from DauT. He keeps just the villages from Mr. Yo reinforcing the walls, and you can see worker efficiency has gone down for Mr. Yo quite a bit. Let's actually go and take a look at gather economy so far. It's significantly higher for Mr. Yo still though, which is just remarkable. Amazing stuff. And that's still able to go up faster. What gives? Again, somehow living in a worse position? Kind of. You know, these are going to start expiring very soon for DauT. Much sooner though compared to Mr. Yo's. But it's going to take some time for us to even get to that position still. What will DauT do though? He lost only one villager, so going up to the castle edge faster could potentially allow him to go for extra TCs and whatnot. Because he sold the stone though to go up, it seems like he's just going to go full aggression. He's breaking through right now. Eagles are coming out. Now the skirmishes are not as useful anymore. The scouts are not going to suffice anymore. We have a lot of Eagle scouts over here from Mr. Yo, so DauT bails. He's got 2 stables already up, so it's quite clear it's going to be aggression from him. Yeah. It's gonna be double stable, night production, and I would certainly like to see a 4 siege workshop. He cannot afford it for the time being, but he can aim for that in the future. Castle is on the way for Mr. Yo as well. We do have an over 2-minute head start though to it for DauT, so we're gonna see a good amount of knights coming out. It's got already 4 queued up. Good job. Good job. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good for DauT. Husbandry coming in for DauT as well. He's gonna keep on going for more knights by the looks of it. Yeah, he's got 3, now he's queuing up more. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo is still about 45 seconds from the castle age, which means no access to monks anymore. This is kind of the opposite of what I was talking about earlier. When I was saying if Mr. Yo goes up faster, he can go for, you know, as much first, so that he gets a good amount of monks before DauT gets a good amount of knights. But DauT going up faster to the castle age compared to Mr. Yo is actually going to allow him to mass a very good amount of knights regardless, while Mr. Yo is gonna have to start going for monks later. But we'll see. Castle age is here, so what is the plan? How many barracks do we have for Mr. Yo? He's got 2 barracks, so he won't be able to spam knights quite as much. He's going for the double monastery, yeah. And he kinda needs to go for it because of the head start to the castle age from DauT. Good job. Unit control is going to be absolutely, you know, crucial in the next few minutes for Mr. Yo. In order to come back over here, he's going for the pikeman upgrade as well. He's got a good amount of spearmen over here about to get upgraded. And yeah, DauT on the other hand, I would like for him to start collecting some gold, some stone rather, so he can go for a forward castle and start adding some throwing axemen into the mix, which are going to complement these units so nicely. He's going for cavalry archers just so he has something to fight against pikemen, but it's going to take some time for him to mass these up. I think he's got a single archer range. Yeah. There we go. Mr. Yo's got the first monks coming out. He's going for sanctity as well. That's going to be 20 extra HP on the monks. Good job. Yeah, well played. Yeah, that's pretty good. This should be overall a pretty good spot though. For Mr. Yo, he should be able to hold on just fine, and he's going for the second TC. He's got the stone to go for a third TC as well, and he's got the wood right now as well, so it seems like he's just going to be playing full defense. It's really interesting to see though in any case. I'm going to take a look at who's collecting the most resources so far in a moment, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be Mr. Yo. We just go and take a look at gather economy so far. It's looking much higher for Mr. Yo. He's had like 51 minutes of extra working time so far this game, which is amazing. Let's go and see. Yeah, collected about 400 extra resources so far. Well played. Back in gaming, so I feel like I could play better than DauT sometimes. It feels like it. It feels like it. And when you watch even like medium elo tournaments or low elo tournaments, you see the players and you're like, there is no way that guy is my elo. There is no way that I do not play like that. People around my elo don't play like that. Don't make those mistakes. But it's just so different when you're watching than when you're playing. Everything kind of, you know, maximizes when you're playing. Like, you feel you're playing so much faster, like you're not making quite as many mistakes. Then you watch the game back and it just seems so bad. But yeah, we know for a fact these players are good. We know for a fact both of these players would absolutely destroy any of us. Alright, there we go. Good job. We don't have ballistics over here, so these are not quite as good as they could be for that, for sure. That happens a lot everywhere. I don't know if you guys are familiar of I mean, I don't remember. Okay, I'm going to talk about this later because I don't want to derail, sorry. Good job. One conversion, but he was able to get one monk down already, which is pretty good. We still have two monks over here though for Mr. Yo. And DauT doesn't really have too many military units anymore. He's got a good amount of knights over on the left hand side though. He was about to break through the gate, but all the eagles coming in from Mr. Yo will be enough to push him away. Yeah. Push him out from the gate. And it's going to be one to see full aggression from DauT. I love this, man. I love this, but he needs a university to get ballistics. And he's not going for one. He also needs siege as well. Knights and cavalry archers alone, he's not going to be able to do too much. Good amount of knights over here, but without siege, you know, the pikemen are going to be enough to keep on pushing the knights around. He cannot sit underneath the TC, he cannot take it down. He needs actual siege forward, and he's not sending villagers either. So he's in a pretty good spot. 3 extra villagers so far. Yeah, a good amount of military units. Actually a higher military count compared to DauT by quite a bit. And yeah. There we go. Yeah, he's getting pushed back. This is a pretty good position for Mr. Yo. With all the Eagle Warriors over here, is going to soak damage from the cavalry archers, so now the pikemen are safe. This is very similar to what we usually see with gods whenever they go for Huskars and Lone Swords, or Huskars and pikemen at the same time. When you mix up the units like this, it's so hard for the enemy to actually target pikemen only. So this is like a very, very good position for Mr. Yo. He's going to try and, yeah, split the pikemen away from the Eagle Warriors, but now that's a lot easier for DauT, of course, to target the pikemen on their own. Well played. Yeah, it's looking a little bit better. It's just a matter of pushing Mr. Yo away and trying to force him to split the pikemen away from the Eagle Warriors so that he can target these, and then he's gonna be able to take on the Eagle Warriors with the knights. Yeah, we have a lot of extra units over here for DauT, and now it's not looking quite as good for Mr. Yo anymore. Good amount of reinforcement units over here for DauT. He's gonna try to push once again. Still, forward siege workshop man is needed. He's going for a barracks right now, so we're gonna see probably Lone Swords coming in. He's going for supplies already, so that's gonna be adding some Lone Swords into the mix, which is going to be huge, of course. That alone is going to counter everything that Mr. Yo's got right now, except for the monks maybe, but we have cavalry archers against that already as well. So let's see. DauT's trying to break through over here, and he's gonna be able to, guys. That barracks is very low HP. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo's coming forward himself with all these eagles. There we go. That's going to be ready to death right now. There is certainly the possibility for that to be the case. And he was not able to get raids going himself. Instead, he's just going to bring the knights back to try and push those seagulls away. Worker efficiency for DauT's not going to be the best, of course. As you can see, in the last minute, it's gone down to 45%. Yeah, and a lot of movement over here. Villagers just bailing, ran away from the wood they just depleted. They're going to go over to the left-hand side. However, DauT's coming in, though, with cavalry archers. So we're going to see a counter raid over here. Let's see who can get the most villagers killed. However, it doesn't seem like Mr. Yo's got all the Eagle Warriors over here, so he's splitting these into multiple groups. He's got the pikemen moving in as well. Meanwhile, DauT was able to get a few villages over there, but he's getting pushed back by Eagle Warriors. Yeah. Really interesting position so far. Looking a little bit better for Mr. Yo. He does still have 11 extra villagers. He does still have 9 extra military units, but military value is significantly higher for DauT. So with some good unit control, DauT over here might be able to get a good trade and potentially try to take it from there. But yeah, Mr. Yo is doing a really good job with unit control himself too. Keeping the pikemen at hand at all times. Good job. He cleans up those units over there. Over here on the right hand side we see some Lone Stars coming out. The Lone Stars, man, that's just going to absolutely change the game. This is going in favor of DauT 100%. Meanwhile, on the left hand side there's another engagement over here, but DauT was not paying attention, guys. A lot of villages went down over there for the red player. We can see a 22 villager lead for Mr. Yo. Will he be able to hold on to this though? As DauT will clean up the Eagle Warriors. He will move forward, and now with Lone Stars into the mix, he's going to have a perfect army composition against basically anything Mr. Yo's got to throw at him. Amazing stuff. There we go. He cleans the Eagle Warriors up, and now he should be going forward. He's got the second TC coming up, and Mr. Yo is going for a defensive castle. This is going to be a contingency castle to try and prevent DauT from getting too much pressure going in the castle age. However, this on the right hand side is still going to be open for sure. Not anymore, by the looks of it. But I think he might be able to break through regardless. Yeah, the castle over here is going to defend Mr. Yo for the time being. That was a really nice play. He does have a good amount of resources. He might be thinking of going out to the Imperial Age, but he's got to be careful. He needs to keep on going for more military units because if DauT manages to break through elsewhere, he can still come in. Like, this castle's only going to protect a fraction of his economy. He can protect only this, the gold over here. And the stone over there. A few farms. But then all of this is going to be exposed. Now Mr. Yo is finally going for another castle over here, which I like a lot better. And DauT is not trying to break through. Or at the very least, is not going to be fast enough. So very good defense from Mr. Yo. Now he's got almost enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age. Had DauT been pushing on the right hand side since earlier, and have he prevented Mr. Yo from getting the second castle up, he would have been in a much better position. But this is going to be the end of the push for DauT. Yeah, there we go. As he sees his smiley face disappear, he comes in with all the knights. No way, man, no way he's gonna go after the castle with military. No. He's going for it! Wow! He's got the cavalry archers, I guess, to protect the rest of the units with, right? Okay. Interesting. This is kind of suicidal, though, I feel like. I don't think he's got enough units or no. The castle was going down to about 80% HP, but take a look at that. He's already lost like half his army. Yeah, that was not good. That was not good at all. Mr. Yo, though, was forced into extra upgrades, into extra units. He does not have enough to go up to the Imperial Age just yet. But now we see some Jaguars coming out, so those are going to be taken on the Lone Stars like no problem. Yeah. Remember, the Jaguars are slightly stronger right now as well. Yeah, they're slightly stronger right now as well. So they are going to do well against other units in general. They are going to do much better than before, so that's already pretty good. A few extra villages going down over here from DauT, and yeah, Mr. Yo keeps on putting the pressure up. Take a look at that. DauT's on 47 villagers. That is not enough. That was a massive throw. Kind of, but like the game was already kind of slipping out of his hands. So it was not. He was going to drop it regardless. So I think he just tried to go for anything, and he was going to be behind regardless, right? Like Mr. Yo with the castle lap over there was going to be able to go up to the Imperial Age faster. He had the stronger economy, and that was already aware of it. So he just tried to do something other than just going back. Going back meant that Mr. Yo was going to beat him to the Imperial Age faster, and it was going to be over. So he tried to go for something. If that had worked, I'm not really sure if he was going to have too many units to work with left anymore, but I guess that's probably something he could have worried about after getting the castle down. He was just trying to go for one thing at a time. Anyway, there's another castle coming up for Mr. Yo over here. This is just going to make it increasingly harder for DauT to get any raids going. He cannot come through the south or from the south over here into Mr. Yo's base anymore. On the right hand side we have a DC, we have the castle over here in the middle of the Mr. Yo's base. On the left hand side we have the TC and the castles over here as well. So yeah. Only 50 seconds away, and then Mr. Yo will be in the castle age, in the Imperial Age, sorry. Jaguars, by the way, the HP actually got buffed by 30%, but there we go. DauT's going to call it GG. So guys, that is 3-0 for Mr. Yo in the second series of the day, and how good is this? How good is this from Mr. Yo? Good job. 3-0. Let's go and take a look at the achievements. DauT's gonna be facing whoever wins one of the loosest matches. But damn, that was very, very strong from Mr. Yo. Let's choose the outcome over here. Mr. Yo's taking this one. So yeah, we have a better than 4 to 3 KD ratio for DauT. We have an army house 65 to 60 for Mr. Yo. For economy, on the other hand, we also have collected resources. Much more for Mr. Yo. A lot more extra resources, right? And yeah, overall looking much stronger for him. Might have been a little bit slower to the castle age and to the fuel age as well, but it did not matter. That was not able to take advantage of it. So let's go back.